welcome to Class Notes. Tonight, we're looking at Gekkan and ankle locks. Hi, I'm Mark White, owner of Discovery Martial Arts. In this video, we're actually looking at the classical kata Gekkan and a couple of variations, or henka, and how we can actually take those to turn it into a ground situation where we can actually apply ankle lock. Before we start the video, if you could take a second, subscribe to our channel. We'd really like it. The YouTube gods really appreciate it and it helps us out a ton. Without any further ado, here's the video. Okay, so tonight we are going to be looking at chokes on the ground, ankle breaks out of said chokes, and we're going to go to it with Gekkan from Shindenfudo Ryu, one of our 9 lineages. So Gekkan means moon liver. Basically, I don't know why. I did hear one translation one time, it's because you're kicking him so hard, they're seeing the moon's reflection out of the puddle there over. So it's kind of one of the staples that you see in the art, probably one of the 10 that probably every dojo knows. And we're going to start from there to kind of get into the whole thing. So where's Adam? So we'll look at it from a classical standpoint to start, and then we'll kind of modernize it a little bit and take it to the ground. So this starts with just a right lunge and grab. Now remember, in the old days, all these guys had old armor, so they kind of reach out like that because they didn't want to get, yeah, that's kind of how they'd have to do it, and maybe grab onto that piece of armor right in here that I had, right? Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna back up from here. I'm gonna reach in, grab in here. From here, watch what I do with my hand. I'm gonna turn my hand this way on his hand, start twisting his arm as I kick it, and bring him right down to here. Okay? So if you can tell, I got this nice little takayori. This arm bar is nice, locked up, and he's in kind of a front and crab position. Not too happy. I just have a quick arm break, roll, get out of there, go save my family. Okay. Okay, yeah. So we'll do it from this angle. So he's coming out, feeding back. I'm coming in, kind of hitting to put him off, at the same time rolling his hand, kicking, coming back down here, and putting my leg up into this arm, driving his shoulder down, but yet picking his arm up. Again, this takayori at the same time. I can also, throw some other stuff in here if I really wanted to. It's just holding down from here. So that's where we're going to start. All right, we all good? Yeah, let's go. That's just everyone does this. I'm converting. So there's a couple key things on this. As this is coming up in this classical way, as I hit this, I am setting him back, but I'm also kind of holding him a little bit this way, because his next reaction is going to be to come back forward, right? He'll want to try to right himself, and so that's how that works out very nicely. Now note too, I'm not just kicking and bending him over. If we take the kick out of it, I'm actually pulling this and putting this up at the same time too. So I have two things going on. That, his wanting to stand back up, and the kick to help me get into this position. All right, so I got 3 things helping him get me here. Now, here, I put this right next to my side. Very tough to drag a full-grown man down like this. And if I do, he's going to crash right into my legs, he's going to take me down to the ground. All right, we're going to look at that part later. Right now, we're going to try to avoid that part. So boom, as I kick it down, I'm going to sit him right here next to my hand. Stock I already started to put on, this is pushing down, this is up, and I'm going to keep this right next to my hip as I step back. So I know right where he lands, so I can keep an eye on everybody else. So I know where he is. I don't want to concentrate on him if I'm in a battlefield, or if I'm out, in these first 5 guys. I can pay attention to all the other guys. So once I get my hands on him, I want to just deal with him. And keep an eye on the other 4, because I may be here, and all of a sudden she wants to kick me. And if I'm like, gotcha, I'm getting the field. Okay, so once I get my hands on him, I need to deal with keep an eye on everything else. Does that make sense? So, one more time. So, as this comes in, that, set him back with this. This is coming over here. Hold this and push this at the same time as you kick him up and keep it right next to your head. From there, go down and keep it right next to your side. Okay? Right? Modern day, there's no way if I kind of back up from here and I come in like this that he's not decking me. I mean, it's going to happen. So let's modernize this a little bit. As he comes in, okay, I'm gonna keep that a lot tighter and starter. A lot tighter and starter. I'm gonna combine 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 comes out locked, and I may even go to his face to grab this. Sneak under here as his knee, and right up. Got the same position. Hand placement's different, but the effect of the work is still the same. Now I can just end this right here and just throw a bunch of these into it, but we're just going to be a little bit nicer. Well, from here, same position, not here, but here. Taking that this way. Okay, one more time, angle, slower. Yep. So instead of going back and coming back into grab, because I'm going to eat that thing. As this is coming in, I'm going to come right around, maybe from the elbow, the face, get back to here, and as that move ends, this one comes right back. And I'm doing the same thing with this. It's just now here instead. And then we go. Okay? See, do we all see the difference? All right, new training partner. Let's go ahead.
So I'm not working to perfect this tonight. This will be a whole other class. Just look at Gekkan. Just wanted to give you guys the principles, kind of a gritty little street mess, because the goal of tonight is actually looking at ground shapes. We needed a base to start. Okay? So we're going to look at this kind of going bad and rough. Yeah. So he's kind of coming in up here, and maybe it's like a tap onto the back of his neck. I realized there's no way. Maybe I can't take him back down this way. You know, there's a wall there. Oh, it's actually a good wall. You know, but I got him here, but this arm's not in a position, so I know if I try taking that, he's gonna roll on me, or he's gonna take that leg out, and I don't want that. So I'm kind of here, I'm pressing the back of his neck instead. So I'm gonna press down this, pick up on this, and I'm gonna just step behind it, take it back down this way. I'm telling you. Start choking. Punch me! Okay, there's a lot going on in that little thing. Yeah, a lot of time, and you don't feel like you have to mount it perfectly. So what I'm doing is here, I'm stepping behind this foot so he can't step back. I'm still pushing down, still pulling up. I'm just gonna dump him right like that. From there,
and you
start to choke. Yeah, that's actually good for you. You got a whole nother technique with that. Yeah.
No, you do. We're gonna look at that in a second. In a minute, he's gonna actually win this fight. All right, but for right now, he started it. I'm trying to finish it. And he's actually gonna win. All right. So one more time, super slow. Do you need to see it?
Yeah, I'd like to.
We're going to put on. I don't think I've ever seen that. Mr. Prince. I haven't seen it so he's going. Oh my God! Hitting from behind, still trapping this, still hitting, but this time instead of here, I'm going to grab right into this neck. And push down on this, pull up on this. Step behind this, kind of pushing him right to the ground as I'm putting his hips back. And I'm just gonna go right over and just start choking him. Okay, welcome to Discovery. Welcome to Discovery. All right, and then we go from there. All right, makes sense? Let's go ahead. Okay. That's kind of the toughest little part of it. How's your face? Good. Okay. So we look at this kind of from moving kind of sort of lightweight. Boom, here. I got that pressure kind of going down into his hips. This way. See that? Do you see how it's kind of going that way? Do we see that? That's kind of the position he's in. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. So I'm doing it from up here. From here. Boom. Take it here, and I just add that little stroke. All I'm going to do is, as he goes down, I'm just going to take a step out and around him. And I come down. So I'm not really making any weird amount. I mean, he's just, him and I are standing right next to each other, right? His feet are this wide. I just need to have my feet this wide. So as he goes down, I just take one big step. And then I can come on right down. Okay? So don't make it overly complicated. It looks like you're really just trying to jump back in his hand. Don't get me wrong. You're so super good. And I'm gonna go down with my knee on. Boom. All right, and then go from there. Or we could make this very, very violent. And crush the sternum and get my concussion by the time he's actually. Before I actually start cooking. Okay, so we're being classy right now. Okay. All right, so let's make it easy to get him down there. Just like 5 minutes, and we'll get to the meat of class. All right, go ahead.
Okay, you want to try again?
Okay, Mate, you guys are looking really good. Honestly, I'm not looking for
It's
perfection on this
I know.
movie tonight. All I'm looking for is, can I get you in some of a scuffle? Right, we've got the hit, we're going down to the ground. And you see the opportunity, so if you're not perfecting this kata tonight, so please, this isn't a technical class, this is a class where you're getting kind of a little rough and tumble and kind of just getting on things. So I'm not asking for perfection, I'm just asking for shit to happen. All right, so Adam. So now you can get into this either way. You get into this choke either way. You can go the first way, and Adam could roll over. So if we do that first one, we kind of come to here, and here, and I take him down, and all of a sudden he decides to roll over at the last minute. Fine, we'll just go over here, and I'll just choke him like that. All right. Or we could go the way where I take him backwards. So I don't care. You guys can pick and choose based on the one that feels right in the moment. If you don't think you can take him backwards, take him forward. If you think take him forward, take him backwards. But wind up here. Okay. Now from here, Adam. Actually, let's switch positions. Okay. So Adam's one. Adam's one. He was choking me. Okay. So from here, I'm just gonna cover, bump, and roll. I'm actually, if you know the hongyako out of this, feel free. You don't have to. Slapping this foot here, breaking this arm down, picking him up on this. Oh, sorry, no compete.
Yeah.
Pushing up on this. You can pinch him to here if you want, or not. Getting him leaning. I'm going to bridge up and over. Oh, Adam's going to kind of come and wrap me up in guard. I'm going to sit up, come forward onto this foot. Let's just get there and stop. Okay. So once I roll over, Adam's got me trapped. I'm going to kind of push in, and I'm going to step up and step forward and trap this thing. All right, I'm going to start right there. Once we get to there, once I see you get to there, we'll go for the rest of that. All right. All right. Makes sense? Questions, thoughts so far?
Sorry, I have a question.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
show the steps of that original rollover? Just that part.
Sure. You want to see it though. You want to see it and you want to experience it.
No, I want to experience it.
The original rollover. Okay. So you're coming in here. Here. As I take you down, so you get that arm down before me. All right. And so now you can actually throw your hips off to the side. That. Oh, okay. And then we just come into it that way. Right. Because and maybe it's not even terrain or something like that. They fall weird. They're able to get that hand down and spin their body a little bit. Great. I follow that right into this. And then she bumps. And from here, and now she's just step right up and trap that arm, trap that leg. Okay? All right, start right there. Good. Sure. So, we're here. She's got me back up. So the biggest mistake you can make on this is they just put their foot up like this. Now, the thing is if she's putting her leg out right now, she just crush my hip, this leg will come up and kick me into this. I don't like that idea. So as we're on this, as I sit up right now, I'm going in, I'm going to jostle hands and stuff like that. I'm going to take the biggest step that I can and almost try to sit on her. And at the same time, I'm not just going straight in, I'm actually pushing his knee. If you don't get that wait, go right. Let's go over this way. So here we see. So I'm not, so if we look at this as a straight line here and a straight line here, I'm actually going in. Yes. So now that push off is a lot harder, correct? Yep. You good? Okay. I'll do the other side.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not going here. So you can push out of that. So you can wiggle, wiggle out of that. I don't like. I'm going forward and turning in to get here. So now that push is very hard. Okay. And we're not going to just stay here. This isn't it. Okay. Submit. Give me the map to the treasure. This isn't that. Because sooner or later she's going to realize that this lake can come into play. Okay. This is just an interstitial place for us to be. All right. This is a transition place for the actual library. Okay. All right. So. Yeah.
Is that the same way you'd have done it in 2020?
2020? No, I would have had a mask on.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have been safe. would have been safe on a whole different other levels. So now there's multiple different ways you can do this. I'm going to do this from the standpoint that I am a smaller person and I have somebody who has really strong legs against me. Okay, the size and strength in this will matter. I have Matt to sit on her, that's more. But if I'm Lynn and I'm working with Paul and Adam and stuff like that, I don't have that option. Even in that position, they could shoot you to the moon. Okay, so we've gotten up here, we've stepped here. Now immediately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin around the side. That's not our technique. Is I'm going to put this one back here. Okay, hold this tight. I'm going to sit back at this angle, kind of the angle that her foot's going. This way, trace this down. I'm going to let this actually go for the moment. Trap this, put her foot here, press down this knee, and break it. Think about this one. And this would be in a heartbeat. This would be a out back. Now, for those who have never done ankle breaks before, ankles don't work like other joints. It's not, ow, oh, it's gonna break, ah, please don't go any further, tap. It doesn't work that way. Ankles are, yeah, oh my God. There's no build up to ankles. They just don't have those nerves, that feeling, they just break. Out of anything that I've seen broken more in all my years here, which is not a lot, ankles are usually the thing that gets broken the most. Just because they don't have, they just don't have the nerves to tell you like, ooh, stop. So, as a practitioner, what you're gonna do is go very super easy. Here. Once you get here, just get a snug. That's it. Just get to there. Because I'm also pressing down on her knee. There's a lot of knee.
Feel it more in the knee.
Yeah, there's a lot of knee problem right now. Okay, and I would just shook. All right. Make sure this is at a 90 degree. All right, and just get right to there. Just right where it's kind of get taut. That's all you need, and you got the tick. Okay, you will not have to go more than 2 more inches to break anything on that. Are we good with that? Let's go. I can almost guarantee what the issue is. How the hell do you break your foot? Am I correct? How do you actually get into that position?
But then it's high here. All right, and the sound will at the end. Okay. So let's everyone come right over in this area.
Okay. So we've got here. She's got me wrapped up. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bring this in. So I'm tucking this leg out because right now if I just go like this, I just splits in my way. I can't really lean back. This will actually be uncomfortable for me. So I'm keeping this tight here, putting this foot here so I can clear my bottom. As I come down, I'm going to try to make a 90-degree turn with her leg. Yeah, I don't want it straight. It's a different break. So I got a 90-degree turn. This is going over. This is here. From there, I'm letting it sneak out here on the bottom side to my chest. Tying it in. So if you look at her leg, got like this 45-degree curve right here. Trapping the knee right there. So what happens is everything has a corresponding release valve, we'll call it. If I pull on her ankle, her knee rotates. If her knee rotates, her hip rotates. If her hip rotates, her back rotates. Do we see that? Right? See how that all happened? So I need to stop the first thing that is going to release, which is the knee. So I hold the knee down, so now the ankle just breaks. Does that make sense? And because if I didn't, it would be do, and I get nothing. So I'm going to stop the joint that is relieving the pressure from moving, which is her knee. Now, there's another break when we're in like this, which actually is the exact opposite. I break it like this, but from this angle, if I move her ankle, her knee comes in, her hip rolls. Do we see that? It just makes sense. So in this one, I push her hip down to stop it, and then break her ankle this way. Okay, so this is a big part of the art. Let's demonstrate on arms. So can you stand up for a minute? So if we look at say in a multi
Yaku wrist break, right? Where we kind of take the person who's taking down. The wrist moves, the elbow moves, the shoulder moves, and the back moves. Right? It all is a link. Right? The body's full of levers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Alright. I could isolate this and make it just not be a takedown and a wrist break, but I could isolate and just make it a wrist break by not letting the elbow go. Right? Easier. And now that elbow can't move in relationship, so I'm just gonna hold this, and now all that pressure is right on her wrist because I'm not letting her do this. That makes sense? All right. So when we're dealing with these joints, the farthest reach of the joint, we have to be considered like, well, this is going, and then if we do it this goes, then this goes, then this goes. Right? Well, I don't want that to happen. I just want this to break. So I'm going to stop this from going, and I'm just going to turn that. And now all the pressure is there because she doesn't have that release valve of that secondary joint that's actually going. Does that make sense? So this way. So this so this wrist turns the elbow, turns the shoulder, turns the hip. Right? Now I can take it down like that, and that's fine. But what if I know I just want to break the wrist? I don't want these release valves of the shoulder and this elbow and this hip. So I'm just going to hold the shoulder here, and I'm still going to do the same thing. And you can see from her reaction it works because now there's no release on that. She doesn't have the ability to get out of that. So that's the same thing that's happening with this. So if we're back down on the ground, we'll go this way this time. You guys can see I'm stepping up, coming down, getting that 45 degree, letting that pass. I'm letting this pass for a reason, just because this is some of the first time you guys have seen ankle locks. If this leg wasn't here and I did this, that knee would go and that hip would go. I don't want that to happen. So I hold the knee down and then I do it. That would then break it because she doesn't have the release valve. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So see that? Any other questions, thoughts? Yeah.
For Heidi, the second ankle thing that he did, you tapped out. Were you feeling something in the ankle with that second one?
Well, I'm a little bit more cautious these days because I don't want to bust an ankle. I've had it happen before, and I got too much riding on the seat for the next year.
Fair enough.
So I
good.
feel it, I'm gonna tap it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna wait till it's at the very breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if we actually think of the principle then of like, okay, I want to stop, maybe we're even in this weird side angle here, right? So what's the principle, right? If I turn this turns, right? But I'm gonna be over here, fine, I'll press down on this and then I'll just reef it up like this. I have the same thing going on, right? Do you see that? This ankle's turned, but I'm not letting the knee go. Cross over, get this near, we get the same kind of break going from there. We could then, on your belly, we could stand up, trap the hip, and do the same thing, right? The principle's still valid. We have to stop the secondary release joint to make it all work. Is that clear? This is what happens every time people see it.
Yes.
That's all right. Got me straight, Mike. Let's go.
Thank you for watching the class notes. Really appreciate it. If you like that, check out the one we did a couple weeks ago. Where we're looking at more fun stuff on the ground and more classical katas. See you on the mat.